Hello everyone, I'm Hummus28 and welcome back to Society Sunlit Valley. So, as we left off last episode, we are now in mid-spring. It's been a couple in-game days since we last made an episode, and you can see we have some hay golems all scattered around the farm. I should probably move those too. They don't really work if they're next to each other, but they do useful stuff. As you can see, they upgrade the farmland from high quality to pristine, and I think it stays that way. Or at least it stays that way for quite a long time, which is pretty nice. Now, with our farm being this big, it doesn't matter too much, but it is nice as every once in a while, they fix something that is actually growing something and not the edges. But once I upgrade these diamond sprinklers to iridium, we should fill out the rest of this, which will look pretty good. So if we come take a look over here, I expanded the farm just a little bit to fill out all of the claimed chunks, and I just need 2 more diamond sprinklers to completely fill in the area. But now that it is spring, we're growing tons and tons of cucumbers and making tons of money. Now, it is the 3rd day, so I think I can actually go in and harvest all of our pickled preserves and sell them for a fat stack of cash. And it looks like I was right. Let me go ahead and grab all of these. Let's see how much money all this relish is worth. And this might also be a good time to swap to artisan goods before I sell all of this. Now it is going to cost like most of all of our money to do the skill swap to revert everything back down. But at this point, now that we're pretty much all in on artisan good production, I think it's a good time to swap because we're not going to need the bonuses that we were getting from farming, mostly being the double crops, which is pretty nice. But at this point, we're now producing so many cucumbers and other crops that I don't really need the double crops because we're just going to convert all of it into artisan goods. And if we take a look here, each stack of 16 is worth $23,000. So if we respec and grab this one for 20% more, and I think that's the only one we can get here, right? Yeah, we can go to 80% more, but I do want to unlock the ability to use ancient casks. I think that'll be better, as ancient casks can let us make a way more money later on compared to the 80%, which should be worth it. I think it's in there. Mining. Yeah, Crystal of Regret mining. So we're going to have to purchase the Crystal of Regret for... Where is it? Crystal of Regret farming. Oh, it's 81,000. We don't actually have enough money for it. It will refund 5 skill points, must be mining level 7 or higher, so 5 skill points will get us to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here to artisan products. So we only need... How much money? We just need... We're at 70, so we only need 11,000, like 12,000 more. So if we sell half a stack, plus 1, that'll get us there. So let me go ahead and sell that. That should get us just enough money, and then we can respec, get 20% bonus, and that's going to add, and there we go. So now we... No, don't eat it! Oh, thank goodness. Do not eat your money. We have cheaper stuff. My lunchbox is actually full of cheese, because cheese doesn't actually sell for too much. So let's go ahead and purchase 1 Crystal of Regret farming. Then pop this. Reset the farming skills. We do also lose like all our speed buffs, which is a little annoying. Come back over here, and artisan products are worth 20% more. So now if we take a look, $27,000. All of the relish is now worth 95,000. Why is it the same? Wonder if it's doing it right. Oh, maybe it's not doing the artisan products, like the bonus. Not sure. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and dump those into the other chest, so it'll sell in 5 minutes, and we can make $100,000, which I'm going to need for the next part of the video, because we're going to start building a create factory, so we can start some simple automation and get some stuff done. Now, I was thinking I was going to build a factory in this space over here that I dislike how it doesn't just update to where I'm at, to this space over here, which I continued to clear out. There's just a little bit more terraforming I could do to expand it out further, but I think this amount of space should be pretty good, which is why my inventory is full of all of these stone bricks, so we can lay the foundations of the factory. And there we go. The factory is done. I never did claim to be an architect, but I can sure build a rectangular box out of brick and glass. At least this way I don't have to keep it lit during the day, which is pretty nice. I always get bothered when I have like a really big enclosed space and I have to like just have a ton of torches everywhere to light it up. But this is where we're going to handle all of the create stuff. We're going to have a generator, we're going to have a crushing thing, a precision making devicing thing, all sorts of thingamabobs and thingamajigs, everything we need for create. So let's start moving stuff in. Now first, we do need to find some willing participants that would like to join us in the factory. So we're headed off to the Skull Cavern to locate some blazes and ask them if they'd like to work for us. Hello, my good sir. Would you like to join the factory? You will? Thank you. Let's see. Another colleague. Let's go ask him as well. Sir, we offer great dental 401k matching and no days off ever. You'd like to join us as well? Awesome. Okay, let's get out of here. So, we're going to need some pipes. We're going to need a mechanical pump. We're going to need to make some fluid tanks, which will take copper casing that is treated log with copper ingot. How do I make these again? Any log with oak resin. Any log, oak resin. It's a good thing I've been hoarding this stuff. Let's just do 9. It's probably a good start. Oh, I just realized this is going to be a little annoying just because we lost our axe efficiency. Because we got that through the farming tree. Anyways, so fluid tank. Oh, and then I have to, how do I turn these into the thing? Oh, you just put it on top. Perfect. The copper age. Now we can just collect this with the wrench. Then use that to make these. And let's just dump that in there. We're going to start with just 10 of these to make a 3x3 tank. Fluid tank, and then, let's see, we'll need a bucket for water. Water buckets. Our employees. And that should be everything we need just to get it going. Oh, we're going to need a crank to cold start this. Or actually, do we even need a crank? Yes, to get the water inside. Can't forget about that. Crank. And I think that's everything. Oh, almost forgot. You cannot forget about the steam engine, which will take this and a block of lead, along with more copper casing to produce, and we're going to need some shafts. There we go, to actually export the rotational power, and we'll be good to start the energy production. So for now, we're not going to get too fancy with it. Take your blaze burners. Hello you two, welcome to the factory. This will be your new home for pretty much ever. To make this, then we just slap on one steam engine to the side over here. To make a boiler, then we are going to need, do I have any blocks on me? I don't. We need to ferry some water over here. So for now we'll use these spruce logs into planks to make a little chasm for our water supply. And bring some water. And I did forget, I can actually be a bit fancy with the setup. I probably should have brought some cogs with me as well. Anyways, so we're going to take the pipe like so. Make it face the correct way. Then if we take some spruce stairs in this orientation, actually I should be able to do like this into this. There we go. That's how I like to see it. We can make it look a little bit fancier. Where's my axe at? Oh, right there. Like so, and get rid of this. So now we can just take the water bucket and waterlog the stairs, like so, and then clean up the rest of it. Need some trapdoors for this. That's a boat. There we go, trapdoor. To completely stop the water, let me grab this and clear up this stuff, remove this water supply. Remove all of the planks. And now we just need a cog so we can do the cold start to get the water inside. And that should get the boiler operational. And perfect, there we go. So now I could just replace... Actually, I could just put it up here for now. And get the water inside under pressure. Water goes in. And I guess it's working. Oh, let me add a shaft over here so we can actually see if it's running. And am I wearing these? I am. So why can I not see? Well, right now it's not doing anything. Because now that it's connected, I need to connect this to that to keep it running at all times. What would be the easiest way to do that? Well, the power's coming out here. So I could probably just route it from here to there using a gearbox. Yeah, that'll work the easiest. My god, it's beautiful. A 6-axis gearbox. Kind of scary. We don't need that one. L-shaped gearbox. Interesting. Huh. I like all of these little add-ons to create. These are quite interesting. So it's L-shaped, so it only goes in 2 directions, which lets you save on cogwheels. And we do need andesite casings, let me go get those. I should probably, now that we have a lot of money, I should invest into the wireless transceiver so I can access our storage from anywhere. I just remembered that the infinite storage range upgrade is really expensive, so I'll have to see how expensive it is. And there we go. Did not need the second gearbox. I could just connect it like so. So now... Oh right, this is where I usually want a crank for this. I mean, not a crank, a whatchamacallit? What is it called? Well, with these guys, it should run forever, so I just have to start it. Man, what is the name of it? I always forget the name of the thing. The clutch, that's what it's called. Okay, so let's see. So once I see this gearbox start turning, we should be good. Not seeing it turn though. Why aren't you running? Oh, I guess for one of this size, we're gonna need more heat. So let me feed these guys. Okay, now it's hot enough. But now I don't think we can get enough water in there. Oh, they shut off extremely fast. Logs are probably not the best. Well, I could just buy coal. That's not an issue. The issue is we need more water in here. So I need to make this turn faster. Big cog. Okay, so now it should work. So now, if we pump water inside, it turns on. Now if we connect these with belts, that'll keep the water going inside. So now the water is massively increased. Perfect. And we're producing 32,768 SU with 1 engine. It is... Oh, it does say. So it's going to last for 6.5. That's 600 seconds divided by 60. That's 10 minutes. And that was giving it some blocks of coal. So let me feed these some more. And you can't overfeed it. Okay. Oh, do they run the same? Interesting. So I just have to feed 1. Okay, that's useful. So I just have to feed 1. And then if you want to automatically feed these, you can use a deployer to feed them. Doesn't matter too much. But now I need to bring over some machinery. We're going to need to do bulk blasting, bulk washing, and compacting, which I have some of those machines already. We're going to need a second encased fan for the washing, but then that should be what we need for the basics. And then we're going to need something for alloying, so I might need, well, I say might, I'm going to need a third blaze burner. Now, let's see, so I don't have to keep walking back here. Wireless crafting grid costs $50,000. Then, to make it unlimited range, what do I have to do? So we did unlock a couple of quests here, task completed. Maybe it's in storage. Ah, there it is. It's in its own add-on called Refined Storage Infinity Booster. Infinity Range Booster will cost, it's actually pretty cheap. I thought it'd be more expensive. Let me go ahead and craft this guy. So to first make it, we're gonna need this dimension card. I don't know what that's for. I just need an infinite range. So we're gonna need an upgrade, which will take a block of gold. This guy, go back into here, this one, and this, and that's the wrong thing. God, it's so annoying. This one, that one. Upgrade. Now we need an iridium coin. Take the upgrade, turn it into a range upgrade, then take the range upgrade and add 3 more iridium coins. And take the beacon to make the infinity range booster, and then plug this in here. And there we go, infinite range. That'll save me quite a lot of time. Pretty expensive. Luckily, we got very lucky with the nether star to make the beacon, which is pretty useful. And I gotta say, I love the flavor of any mod that always uses the beacon to like instill infinite range, because that's like the beacon's job casting the light everywhere. But now that we have an infinite range storage, we essentially have a backpack that can store infinite items. Well, as much as I like hooked up in there. Looks like it's still running. Pretty nice. A couple more minutes. We can always top them off once more. Wait a minute. Huh. I thought they both just worked. Or maybe... Let's see. Huh. I'm actually not sure. Anyways. Now you can put this pretty much anywhere in here. I just forget what the keybind is, so I'm going to keep that in my hotbar. So what I need this guy... Huh. Didn't I have to craft that? They give me one for free. Well, don't worry about it. What I need this guy for is making alloys. Brass, electrum, and steel of ender. Now, electrum is kinda not super useful outside of, I think, the early game or like where we're at right now, because the main benefit of electrum is the Fortune 3, which does apply to ores you mine. But since we're going to be using a crushing wheel anyway, it doesn't matter too much. But I need the brass in order to make the mechanical crafters so we can get the sturdy dust, and by sturdy dust I mean the crushing wheel. Then you do need the powdered obsidian to make more like advanced machines from what I've seen, like these ones. But we're working on that for now. So to make brass, we're going to need a mixer and a basin, and then you have to combine iridium scrap, zinc, and copper. So we're going to need a basin, we're going to need a mixer, and it looks like we're all out of our alloy. This guy, one of those. Mixer, one of these. Yeah, we need more andesite alloy, which is made from iron coins, which is a little annoying, but I think we can get andesite pretty easily, and we're rich. Especially, it's a new day, our crops are about to be finished, so that should give us an influx of a ton of money. So we don't really have to worry about spending money to make the create items anymore, which is pretty good. And there we go. The mixer is set up. I swear, I hate how the mechanical mixer needs a gear when like every other device can just take a shaft inside. Because then you have to make it look a little ugly like that. But I mean, it functions, and it works, and now we can produce bronze, which is going to be needed for something. I forget. Why does bronze not come up here? Because it's not bronze, it's brass. That's why. We need brass for something I forget. What do I need brass for? There was something I needed brass. And there we go. It was the mechanical crafters. Because we need brass to make brass casings, to make 27 mechanical crafters, so we can make the crushing wheels. So now to make the brass, how many are we going to need? So if we go to the crushing wheel takes 21. Each craft makes 3, so I need to craft this 7 times. So I need 7 pieces of brass. And does this need to be... It needs to be heated, but not superheated. So we need 7, which will take 7 iridium, 7 zinc, and 7 copper. And I think we're all out of copper. Yeah, we don't have enough. We have 7 copper ore, which I can break down and hopefully get a good amount out of this. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to have to smelt this down. And then we can make our brass. Get the crafters, then get the crushing wheel, and then we can crush all of our ores. And then I really need to get a lot more copper, because we're running really low. And I didn't need it before, but now that we're going back into create, we're going to need quite a bit of copper for like anything liquid related. Or I could just buy copper. I completely forgot that was an option. So copper, then we're going to need iridium. 7 iridium. We have a bunch of iridium ore we can process as well. And zinc. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I have my coal. So let's head back over there and smelt this guy. So 7 copper. I could just do that. I don't know why I always drop it one at a time. Then we gotta superheat this guy to quickly make brass. And I always appreciate overclocking the machines so they go a lot faster. It's so useful, especially ones with like the mechanical press is really slow and the mechanical mixer is really slow. The only one you don't have to overclock are the crushing wheels, as their speed is like logarithmic. So even if you, there we go, take it out. So even if you speed them up by a lot, it doesn't really increase their processing speed by too much. There we go, brass. Now to make mechanical crafters, we just need to get electron tubes, which are pretty easy. They are expensive as they need silver, but we do have quite a bit of silver that we've been saving, but I only want to use as much as we need. So to make the crafters, we need 7. So we only need 7 pieces of silver. Silver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to smelt this real quick. So now we just smash the silver into plates, and then for the electron tubes, I forgot how to make those. Electron tube plate. This guy is rose quartz and sandpaper, and this is nether quartz and redstone. We only need 7 and sandpaper. Where'd I get the sandpaper? Paper and sand. I don't think I have any paper. Paper. Yeah, no paper. Mostly because I have not seen any sugarcane. Tree bark can be made into paper. Is there an easier way to get paper? That's the same thing. That's the same craft. Is there no other way to get paper? You can buy sugarcane though. Okay, so I can essentially just buy paper. I should probably just bring like a cell phone in here. Let's see. Oh, I have one in the building. The second one, the blue one. So I'll just move that over here so I don't have to keep running back to buy resources. That's going to save a lot of time. So we go ahead and make 7 of this. And I was wondering, wait, I think I put them in here actually. Okay, it does have durability. Interesting. Because usually the last time I played with Create, you could make a diamond sandpaper that lasted a lot longer than regular sandpaper. But I guess you can't do that in this version. And I thought the reason was sandpaper was going to be like the tools, it wouldn't wear out, but that is not the case. So now we can take these, combine with that to make our electron tubes, and finish that quest, no reward. But now we can make mechanical crafters with brass casing, crafting tables, and iridium coins. And now that we have $200,000, that's really not an issue. And I should probably bring an ATM in there. I don't think so. I almost forgot to put the phone though. Because after I set up everything, I'm not really going to need coins too often. Well, no, you need them for crafting, so I guess having an ATM in there will be useful. Anyways, though, we're going to need 14 iridium coins. We're going to need some crafting tables. Like 7 of them. I think that's enough for 7. Perfect. And mechanical crafter. This guy. Oh, and then the brass casings. So let me grab my stripped wood, grab our brass. We only need 7 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And grab those. So now we can make our mechanical crafters. Let's see, those, that, this, crafting tables. To make 21 of them. Quest completed. Mechanical crafters, done. And I guess it just shows some of the crafts you can do. The potato cannon, the extendo grip, a navigator, a local metal boiler for steams and rails. And we get $512. We get a rebate. But with that, now we can finally make the crushing wheels. Which will take 3, 6, 9, 12, 16 andesite alloy. I think I have enough. Yeah, there we go. Andesite alloy. And how much for the other stuff? I think it was andesite, right? Crushing wheel. 1 stone and 4 planks. 1 stone. Does it have to be... I think it counts, any of them, and 4 planks. So now let's go ahead and turn this guy on and craft ourselves the crushing wheels. Now at this point, the crushing wheels are going to be useful, but not game-breaking. Mostly because if you're mining at this point and you have the skill, which is over here, the final one, if you go for High Roller, you get Fortune 4? IV? I believe that's Fortune 4. It gives you an extra 4 levels of Fortune on top of the prior 2. So you essentially have Fortune 6. So when you're mining stuff, you already get the bonus just at that moment. Whereas if you use the crushing wheel, you get a bonus, but it's not always guaranteed. It's a bit less. Now, let's see. Without these guys running, it only generates 2048. But if I slow it down, it shouldn't break it. Now, how do I do the crushing wheel again? This formulation. Do I have enough room here? 3, kinda, barely. We'll move it later, so it doesn't matter too much. So we'll put this guy right here. 1, 2, 3, because then I can actually connect it to this. And do this formation. Yeah, see? Because then it all connects. Let me disconnect this, though. That didn't do anything. Oh, because I have to disconnect both. There we go. Just so we don't accidentally use up too much SU. There we go. So now if we grab cobblestone planks and andesite alloy, stone planks, and fill the sides with andesite. Oh, and I have to align this. Why did you start crafting? That's annoying. Can I take these out? Okay, you can. Okay, let me align it first. So you go to the right, you guys go to the left. Like so, you all go down, and okay, that looks like you go to the right. Okay, perfect. That goes in there. These ones go there. Connect all of this with andesite. And there we go. Now we make the crushing wheel. And then I can tear it down and apply power to these machines. Once we have a better boiler, we can have everything hooked up all the time. Why didn't you work? Oh, it has to be stone, not cobblestone. Stone. Planks. Andesite alloy once again. And there we go. Okay, so now it should work. And I think it's working now that it's all connecting a lot slower. And crushing wheels. Phenomenal. So now I can disconnect all of this. Reconnect these guys. So this is a little one, and then this is a big one, like so. Now for the crushing wheels, we can finally crush all of the ores, including the iridium. Because it's mostly the iridium and the silver that I wanted to crush to get efficiency out of it. Because if you take a look at the block drops here, iridium scrap only drops 1 to 2. Wait, can I not crush iridium? Interesting. You cannot crush iridium, so collecting it like this is pointless. What about regular iridium? Also pointless. Interesting. You can crush silver though, right? You can crush the silver. And then when you take the crushed raw silver and wash it, that gets you a little chance for more iridium. So that's what I'm going to do to process it. It is weird that you can't crush the other thing though. I could have swore you could have crushed it. Anyway, so we're going to set these up now to make this. All you need to do is grab some gearboxes, which I don't have, so we're going to have to craft them. Gearbox, because you just have to make sure that they're spinning in opposite directions. And you do need regular gearboxes for this. You can't really use the other ones. So we have a bit of space, and I'm going to need some shafts to connect this. Shaft, crushing wheel, and crushing wheel. So now we just have to connect this to this stuff over here, which shouldn't be that difficult. It kinda is. No, I just need a cog. Cogwheel. And remember, if your create setup doesn't look janky, you're not doing it right. Now we can just connect this over there. There we go. And are these spinning the right way? They're spinning the opposite way we want. Which means if you put stuff in, it's going to shoot upwards. So I'll need one more gearbox to realign this. Take the gearbox, come over here, swap the rotation. So now they're spinning the right way. They're spinning really fast. They don't need to be spinning this fast. And now if we just take a chest and a chute, which I don't have to, I could just make one. Chest, chute. You just put this guy, not like that. I also got to be careful not to fall into it. Like that, chest. And now if we grab our silver, like so. And wait a minute, now that I think about it, you crush the raw silver. Oh, but it's 1 to 1. Whereas when you crush this stuff, you have a 75% chance to get 2. And if you use fortune, it just goes up to 2. Interesting. I wonder. It says 1 to 2, so if you have fortune like 5, will it keep scaling or not? I'm not actually sure how the scaling works on it. Anyway, so now you take your second. That is not where that goes. Right. Nope. Right there. And grab one more chest. Where's my wood? There we go. One more chest. Put you right there. Now if we put our ore inside of here, it goes inside and comes out crushed. It's going to take a couple seconds though. It's not super fast, but it's free, especially since at the current level we're running the generator at, we don't have to actually power this with heat. So we're getting 2048 SU for free. If we ever need it to go higher, well, we can fully automate it so we can generate more SU, but for now that's going to work. And there you go, crushed raw silver and nuggets of XP. Do we need this for anything? Experience rotor. Interesting. I've never actually played with the enchantment industry stuff, so I'm not actually sure how to overclock your enchantments with it, or if that even works in this version. But there we go, crushed raw silver. So now we're going to wash this with a fan to hopefully get some iridium scrap, and we're good to go. And I can also throw in the rest of our ores here, so we type ore, grab all of this. Okay, it's annoying that you can't just, like, shift through all of it. But stuff like the deep slate diamond ore does get you 2 diamonds, which is pretty nice. Go ahead and throw all of this in here. That's going to quickly fill up, but that's not really a problem. Take out the rest of this. Minus the iridium. I forgot the iridium is not going to work. So let me take that out, and I'll just mine this manually. I wonder why they decided not to let iridium go into crushing wheels. Doesn't really make too much sense why it stands out. Oh, and I just realized, you get 400 XP for mining iridium. That's pretty good. And that gets us to the final point, so now we have a chance to get prismatic shards from geode nodes, or I can go into high roller. I think I want to find prismatic shards though. I think those are worth more, at least at this point. And there we go. Connected it with a bit of belts and some stuff. It was funny. I overstressed the machinery, so I overclocked the blaze burners to get some more stress units. And that got me the achievement, crushing it. Operate the crushing wheels at max speed. So I went over here and disconnected it from this part because it was speeding it up way too fast and slowed it down. And the fans don't need to operate that fast. They don't do washing and blasting faster if you give them more speed. It just increases the range, which is useful in different applications, but for now I just need it to be 1 by 1. But if you open these, it actually does go out to 3 by 3. I mean 1 by like 4. You gotta be careful with lava, you will take damage. So now if we grab all of the silver, and I did take most of it out of here, grab the silver, crushed raw silver, we can take this over here and wash it, and then hopefully a whole stack of crushed raw silver should yield a few pieces of iridium scrap, because it's 12% for every 1. So it should yield, I think, like 6, which is not great, but silver is pretty rare, and so is iridium. So any opportunity to get more iridium from something we already need to get is really good. And there we go. Tons of silver nuggets and 11 iridium scrap. Do the rest. So that's higher than I thought. And now that we have the nuggets, you could just combine these back into ingots. You don't have to do any extra processing, which is always nice. Throw that in there. Tons of silver. And now how much silver do we have? A whole stack. Pretty good. Silver. 65. Silver is pretty rare, just like iridium. So if we can do any kind of duplication to get more, that's always good. Especially with how much iridium we're going to need in the future, because iridium is going to be needed for everything. But for now, this is the start to the factory. There's not much I can do yet, because everything is so expensive. Like, one of the items I was thinking about making was you can make an iron farm with Create for infinite iron, but making a drill takes 4 iridium ingots and $250,000. So it's kind of not possible. And to make everything does take powdered obsidian, but as you can see, once you make the first one, you can just combine it with smithing templates to make more. So only the first one is the most expensive. After that, they're a lot cheaper. As you can see, it goes down from $250,000 to like 100,000. So that's 150,000 in discounts, but still pretty expensive. But the main thing you need the crushing wheels for is actually for obsidian, to make the powdered obsidian here, which, oh, I think it's in here. Oh, it's in the chute, that's why. It sends 16 down into the controller, 16 into the chute, and the rest will go in here. There's no more silver, right? No. And I think, can you wash this? If you wash this, you actually get a little bit of silver. If we wash iron, you get a little bit of redstone. If you wash gold, you get a little bit of nether quartz, and that's about it. What about zinc? Zinc gets you a little bit of gunpowder. Not bad. Not anything like we need in massive quantities, but it is nice to get extra. As you can see here, when you crush obsidian, it's a 75% chance to get the obsidian back, so you can keep recycling it to get more powdered obsidian. And you need that to craft pretty much all the kinetic devices. Mechanical drills, mechanical saws, and mechanical harvesters. Now, right now, I think we don't need a harvester until we get to the point where we have iridium level crops with the fertilizer that makes it grow faster. That's when the mechanical harvester is going to be most useful. For right now, we have to wait 7 days to harvest the crops, so it's not super useful. But then once you have one, you can make more for $100,000, which at that point probably means we're going to be pretty rich. We don't need to like worry about how much it costs, which is pretty good. And the way I was thinking about it in terms of making money, and if you're wondering what that is, it's the Skull Cavern teleporter. Why it's filling up there, I have no idea. It kind of moves around, gives me an idea to make an ARG video looking for a world that doesn't exist in Sunlight Society Valley, yada yada. Anyways, the idea I had for the ultra late game farm is gonna involve fertilizer, I can't spell fertilizer, in which option? It is this one, the hyper fertilizer. Decrease the time it takes for crops to mature by 3 days. If you combine this with something that grows every 4 days, it'll grow every day. And if you take a seed and throw it into the seed, I think it's just called a seed maker, right? Seed maker? Yeah, the seed maker. It preserves the input quality. So if you put an iridium quality item inside, you get iridium seeds, which means you don't need the high level high level fertilizer to make iridium crops. The seed themselves will make them iridium, which means, say like we're growing cauliflower here, you take it from 7 days to 4 days, it's always going to be iridium quality, but it grows almost twice as fast, which means you generate money even faster. But that's going to take quite a long time to get to, because getting enough iridium level seeds is going to take quite a long time. But I think in the long run, that is how you're going to make like the most consistent income the fastest. Just because you can do the like winemaking, the aging, I think they're just called aging barrels, right? Yeah. The ancient cask, like this makes lots of money, but it takes so much time. It's not like fast money. This is going to take a very long time, and even some of them aren't super high value. So unless you're going for like these things that are like 30,000, or the one I said before, which took the sun fruit, which is like $90,000, crop farming, basic crop farming is going to be how you make the most money. And preserves. Preserves are king. I'm going to use editing magic to time travel. So at the end of the video, when I say, goodbye everyone, thank you for watching, that's going to be in the past, while this current clip is in the future. Don't worry about it. It's mostly because I realized, in setting up the crate stuff, the main thing I wanted to build was this thing, so we can actually make the precision mechanisms, because I wanted to get access to auto tappers, because they automatically collect sap, which is something I think we're going to need a lot of in the future. So, after messing about for like 30 minutes, I think I came up with an okay design. Obviously, I think there are better ways to do this that people have made, but it should work. So if we go ahead and grab some cogs, and we're actually going to need more of these, so let me make some more, because at minimum I think you have to run this process 4 times. So 4 little ones, we need 4 big ones, and we need some gold coins. There we go. So now if you see, we're going to give this guy the gold, give this one the big cogs, and you the little cogs. And to actually start this, we need silver sheets. So you only need 1 silver sheet to actually start the process. 1 piece of silver. It just has to repeat on the same piece 4 times. So go ahead and crank that into a sheet. And the way it works is I'm going to have to filter this the first time around, but then it should work fine. Oh, actually, can I make a key for the drawer? Key. That's not the key I need. I don't think it's this one. Spruce drawer, functional storage. At functional. Do these have... I don't think you can lock these. Huh, can you not lock these? Interesting. I could have swore you could. Because what I wanted this design to do is, you come into this chest, put the silver sheet. Clicks it, it starts stringing it into the mechanism. And right now it's going to come in here and go around. So it's going to do it again. The only issue is, I don't have a filter for when it's done. So what I could do is actually take the tunnel. Oh, not the tunnel. We need a funnel. Like so, brass funnel. Because on this iteration it should finish. And there you go, it's complete. 1 precision mechanism. And it didn't fail, which is nice. This is probably my least favorite part of Create, is the fact that you can set up a recipe sequence like this, and then it just has a random % chance to fail. It's terrible, I hate it. Why have a % chance to fail when it already takes like a pretty long time to set up? I don't understand it. Anyways though, so I think what I could do to fix the design is if we pop this one off and add in a brass funnel, we should be able to filter this. So if you come in here, click to set item, up to exactly, click to set amount, we should be able to make a filter, attribute filter, package filter, against attributes, against collections of items. So I think we want the list filter, which will take an artisan canvas, which is wool in the loom, which is annoying. Because you have to put wool in here to make artisan canvas. Why do I have to go through this step just to do it? Unless... No, that's still slow. Oh, wait, I might have an artisan canvas. Artisan. Well, if I did, it's gone. I have no idea where it's at. Unless it's in here? Nope. So what I was thinking is we could just filter this for precision mechanisms, but then blacklist it. So let me try if that... Let me see if that'll work. And while we wait, I realize now that we have a precision mechanism, I can give it to the Synodontists. They've been waiting a long time for this. This really makes us feel at home. You're welcome. So now that we have the Synodontists, I believe they're fully leveled. Synodontists, I believe they can finally produce precision mechanisms as well. So I gave them a precision mechanism. Now, every once in a while, every day, I have an 18% chance to get one back, which is a pretty good investment. I'm trying to get, as you can see, I have 2 ponds full of bluegills because I invested money into the book. This one, where is it? This one, Bluegill Meridian. I'm not quite sure how viable it is though, because they're worth 666, but then if you spend the money to turn them into smoked bluegill, that should also take into account the new base price, but it's still pretty slow, so I'm not sure if it's better or not. Okay, I got my artisan canvas, so now if we come over here, we should be able to take this and turn it into a filter. I think it's this one, list filter. Now if we right click this, we should be able to deny, and if we come in here and type precision mechanism, and this one's called a fluid mechanism. Fluid. Perfect, those are denied. Save. So now we can come over here, pop that in. So now it should function just as I was thinking. So if we take 4 gold coins, then grab 4 of the cogs, big and little. And we're all out of that. Where is my alloy? Oh, we're almost out of alloy too. We're gonna have to make more of that. Cogwheel, big cogwheel. And you go there, here, and there. Then take some silver, which we got from the quest, and pop that in there. So now it should work. So it should come in through here. Perfect. and it's going to repeat, and once it's done, it should pop into this chest. Now, while I claimed the rewards here, there actually is a way to automate lead and silver. Lead is easier than silver from what it seems, but we'll cover that in another episode. But I do like that there's the option, because eventually I do want to get to the point where we've automated every material we're going to be using, and it went into the chest. Nice. Because we're going to be able to start producing these from fish, and we're going to need them for a lot of things. I want to make some of these hyper tubes so we can zoom around the base very fast, but the main thing is going to be getting the auto tappers, because as you can see, you put it on a log, and they generate the pine tar, oak resin, sap, maple syrup, and mystic syrup, which is going to be very good for us. Now, eventually we'll get eventually we'll get mastery and we'll unlock some of this late game stuff, but that's going to take quite a while. We're mostly gated by some of the stuff we don't do all the time, like combat, fishing, and that's about it. But once we have more money, we could just purchase those books to make it go a lot faster. But, as always, I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you all next time.